Yuichi Katagiri had always known poverty, from the tattered walls of his tiny apartment to the constant struggle to put food on the table. His life was a constant battle against hardship. Despite the challenges, Yuichi found solace in his friendships. He had a close-knit group of her friends: Tenji Mikasa, the brainy and resourceful one; Shiho Soaragi, the kind and caring one; Makoto Shide, the confident and ambitious one; and Yutori Kokorogi, the gentle and shy one. Together, they made high school life bearable, even enjoyable. Yuichi worked multiple part-time jobs to support himself and his mother, who was too ill to work. He delivered newspapers in the early morning, worked at a convenience store after school, and did odd jobs on weekends. It was exhausting, but Yuichi never complained. He was determined to make the best of his situation and provide a better future for himself and his mother. As the end of the school year approached, Yuichi's friends were excited about the upcoming school trip. It was a tradition for second-year students to go on a week-long trip, and this year's destination was a beautiful coastal town. Yuichi had always dreamed of going on such a trip, but he knew it was a luxury he couldn't afford. However, his friends insisted that he come along, assuring him that they would help cover his expenses. Determined not to be a burden, Yuichi worked even harder. He picked up extra shifts, cut back on sleep, and saved every yen he could. His friends noticed his exhaustion and tried to help, but Yuichi was resolute. He wanted to earn his own way and not rely on their charity. One evening, as Yuichi was finishing his shift at the convenience store, he received a text message from Shiho. "Hey, Yuichi, we need to talk. Meet us at the park after your shift." Yuichi's heart sank. Shiho's tone was serious, and he couldn't help but worry. When Yuichi arrived at the park, he found his friends waiting for him on their usual bench. The atmosphere was tense, and Yuichi felt a knot form in his stomach. "What's going on?" Yuichi asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Tenji was the first to speak. "Yuichi, there's something we need to tell you. The class's school trip funds have been stolen." Yuichi's eyes widened in shock. "What? How did that happen?" Shiho looked down, her voice trembling. "We don't know, but the teachers are furious and are saying that if the money isn't returned, the trip will be cancelled." Yuichi felt a wave of despair wash over him. All his hard work, all the sleepless nights, and now this. He clenched his fists, trying to keep his emotions in check. "Do they know who did it?" Makoto shook his head. "No, but they're investigating. They think it might have been someone from our class." As Yuichi tried to process the information, a man dressed in a black suit approached the group. He had an air of authority and a cold, calculating gaze. "Good evening, students. My name is Manabu. I represent the Tomodachi Game organization." The friends exchanged confused glances. "Tomodachi Game," Yutori repeated, her voice barely above a whisper. Manabu nodded. "Yes, one of you is in debt, and as a result, you've all been chosen to participate in the Tomodachi Game. It's a game that tests the strength of your friendship and trust. If you win, the debt will be cleared, and the stolen money will be returned. But if you lose, the consequences will be severe." Yuichi felt a chill run down his spine. "What kind of game is this?" Manabu's lips curled into a sinister smile. "You'll find out soon enough. For now, I suggest you prepare yourselves. The game begins tomorrow." The friends were left in a state of shock and disbelief. They had no choice but to follow Manabu's instructions and prepare for the mysterious game that awaited them. The next day, Yuichi and his friends were taken to an isolated building on the outskirts of town. The atmosphere was eerie, and the tension was palpable. Manabu led them to a room with a large table and 5 chairs, each marked with their names. "Welcome to the Tomodachi Game," Manabu said, his voice echoing in the silent room. "The rules are simple. You will face a series of challenges designed to test your trust and loyalty. If you succeed, you will earn points. If you fail, you will lose points. The team with the most points at the end of the game will be the winner." The first challenge was announced: a game of trust. Each friend was given a sealed envelope containing a secret about one of the others. They were instructed to read the secrets aloud and then decide whether to trust the information or not. Yuichi's heart pounded as he opened his envelope. Inside was a note that read, "Shiho has been hiding something important from the group." He looked at Shiho, who was visibly shaking. Shiho took a deep breath and spoke up. It's true, I've been hiding something. My family is in debt, and I was the one who stole the class's trip funds.
I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just didn't know what else to do. The room fell silent. Yuichi felt a mix of anger, betrayal, and pity. He had always trusted Shiho, and now this revelation threatened to tear their friendship apart. The next few challenges were equally grueling, testing their loyalty, honesty, and willingness to sacrifice for each other. Each challenge pushed them to their limits, revealing hidden insecurities and fears. As the game progressed, the friends began to unravel. Shinji, who had always been the rational one, struggled to keep his composure. Makoto's confidence wavered, and Yutori's gentle nature was put to the test. Yuichi felt his resolve weakening, but he knew he couldn't give up. He had to keep fighting, not just for himself, but for his friends. In the final challenge, the friends were given a choice: betray one of their own to win the game or lose together. It was a cruel and heart-wrenching decision. The room was filled with tension as they weighed their options. Yuichi looked at his friends, his heart heavy with sorrow. We've been through so much together. We've seen each other's strengths and weaknesses. We've supported each other through the hardest times. I can't betray any of you. I'd rather lose the game than lose our friendship. Tears filled Shiho's eyes as she nodded in agreement. Yuichi's right. We've come this far because of our trust in each other. We can't let this game destroy that. The others nodded, and together, they chose to forfeit the game. Manabu's expression was unreadable as he tallied the final points. You've made your choice, Manabu said, his voice devoid of emotion. While you haven't won the game, you've proven the strength of your friendship. The debt will be cleared, and the stolen money will be returned. Relief washed over the friends as they realized the nightmare was finally over. They had faced the darkest parts of themselves and emerged stronger, their bond unbroken. As they left the building, Yuichi felt a sense of hope for the future. They had endured the Tomodachi Game and come out on the other side with their friendship intact. The experience had taught them valuable lessons about trust, loyalty, and the true meaning of friendship. The school trip went ahead as planned, and Yuichi and his friends enjoyed every moment of it. The coastal town was beautiful, and for the first time in a long while, Yuichi felt a sense of peace. He knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he had his friends by his side. And as they watched the sun set over the ocean, Yuichi couldn't help but feel grateful. Grateful for the friends who had stood by him through thick and thin, and grateful for the strength that their friendship had given him. Together, they were unstoppable,